Everybody can hear us.
I hope I'm not
You can stop
online.
stop your video for now. And then put it back on.
What was the change?
All right, so let's put on our camera. We're gonna start a little moment. Welcome, Kamilla.
Yeah, you can breathe now.
Yeah, there's a lot of yellow. I'm all yellow. Let me just.
You're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
What time is it for you right now?
Oh, it's
Yeah, a little better now. You're better now. Just the background that's a little yellow, but you're not so yellow.
What about if I just turn it off completely? Yeah, it's very nighttime here, huh?
Yeah, your light is good.
Okay, so I guess let's have some tea first, right? I got my cup.
Ready.
Do you have a cup?
Yes,
Yeah,
always.
I haven't mixed it yet. I'm gonna mix it. So I have chosen, I don't know how you say this in French, in English. Réglisse. Réglisse? What is that?
What do you say it in French?
Réglisse.
Réglisse.
Licorice?
Licorice.
Licorice. You know it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't it like, you know, when you were a kid and you ate that black candy? Tasted like licorice? Right?
Yeah. But
the black candies.
I find licorice mostly when I was like backpacking.
Mm-hmm.
And I find it on the way when you're like hiking. There's a lot of licorice usually on the path when you're like hiking mountains. Yeah, I don't know. It's like a lot in Europe. You have a lot of it in the mountains. Oh, sorry for the noise. Oops.
I don't hear anything. Okay, but yeah, okay. I have licorice right there actually, but I have it in a powder form. So sometimes I mix it with turmeric. Yes.
Is that like this?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. It is not marijuana.
Bobby's drinking some marijuana.
No.
Yeah. So you like that?
I don't know. I'll try. It's my first time, but it smells good. I know it gives a lot of like energy when you're like backpacking. That's why I'm like, I'm gonna put my.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. I like licorice, but I mix it with normally I don't drink it so much as tea.
Yeah.
I use it actually on my skin. You know, when you have it like in the powder form, and then you mix it with a little bit of turmeric and you can have it on your skin. Yeah, if you have like some dark spots that you don't know how to get rid of, you can use licorice.
I see.
Mm-hmm. So I'm drinking some chamomile.
Chamomile. Yeah, I thought about it too, but then I was like, I'm gonna go to sleep. But I mean, you're just waking up and you're on chamomile already?
I just like the taste of it. You know, I'm always calm, and chamomile just put me in just, you know, my normal state.
Yeah. Oh, this is very warm. We got some time before we start drinking this thing.
You have the right tools, though. I like the tools that you're using.
Yeah. Most important is my two friends. Like
yeah.
My monkey, gorilla monkey, and my elephant friend here.
Do they have a name?
I haven't given them a name yet, but
does it matter though?
No, it doesn't matter. I don't think they have a name, you know.
Does it matter?
Yeah, I get very spiritual with them. I can see, you know, so much in their eyes.
What do you see in their eye, FABI? I can see the eye to the elephant from here.
Well, I mean, I guess you see yourself back. Right? So I'm not sure if there's actually a person in that thing, or I wonder.
A reflection of you in there, maybe.
Yeah, no.
Maybe that. I can see the elephant's eyes from here, since you mentioned eyes.
Yeah, but they're not like actual like eyes. They're more like a painting of an eye.
Okay, and this other one is a glass.
This
No,
one is a glass.
yeah.
Yeah, this one is like real.
Okay, that's what you feel like. You feel him.
Yeah, I can't wait to be like with my chimpanzee in Costa Rica. It's gonna be great.
You know, I always wanted a chimpanzee.
Yeah.
I always wanted a monkey
Well,
for some reason.
we'll have one. We'll have one in the center. I don't know if we're gonna.
Would you name the monkey?
Are you just going straight into non-duality with those naming thing?
No, I want to know. It's the truth. I want to know because I'm just thinking about your elephant. They don't have a name because of, they don't need to be called. Right? So do we have a name just because of we have to respond?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's like, could you imagine like if a parent decided not to name their kid anymore? So how would that go?
I think it would be fine.
Well, actually, there are like kids that are like, I haven't met many of them, but there are kids that apparently have been like born in the jungle and like even raised by animals, right? I don't know if you've heard of that. Yeah. So it's like, when they're born with animals, they don't have a name, but they're still getting some kind of education from those animals. So there is no problem in being alive without a name, I guess.
Right?
Yeah.
Why do we give names though? Or what is name? Are you attached to your name, for example, FABI?
No, actually, I told everybody because most people think that it's Fabien, right? I told everybody that each decade, like supposedly like decade, every 10 years, I'm losing one letter of my name.
Ooh.
So like, it starts with like Fabien, and the N went out already. The E is going out already. Now the I is about to go out. Actually, it should have gone out. Yeah, it should have gone out already, the I. But that's okay. I give myself 10 years of leeway. And after that is like Fa. And so it's kind of like Egyptian name then, And oh no, it's like a solfeggio. It's like music note now. Yeah.
Yeah, FA.
Awesome. Yeah. That's great. I'm excited for that decade. And then it's just F. Actually, a lot of people are signing their name, with emails with just their first letter. So and then you can just remove the last one, and yeah. So I think
that's interesting. That's very interesting. I don't feel like I have a name. Everybody call me whatever. I'm like, okay, you like that? Okay, you can keep it. I've always been like that. I go to my family, they call me a name, I say yes. I go to some friends, they call me a different name, I say yes. So for me, I feel like I've never had one.
Oh, this is good.
You like it? What else do you have in there? Just
it's got this little thing like aftertaste,
Yeah, I know. You can use it as a mouthwash as well.
It's really nice. Yes, it's not the same as most herbal teas. It's got this like real interesting. It's like happening more in the throat or lower, maybe even.
Normally, yeah. Like licorice, you would drink it like when you have sore throat or
yeah.
Oh,
it's kind of nice.
Like even like what do they call those drops that you eat when it tastes like that. Even cough syrup, they make cough syrup of that.
Yeah.
So
wow.
It is for the throat.
I mean,
cheers.
I think cheers to you actually. Yes, cheers. Boom. So yeah, I think if anybody is new to those talks, it's like probably important to share, like the beginning of a message. Maybe even if you started talking about no names, I think just an introduction for non-duality, there's nothing to like get from this live or this message, because it's not a message, and there's nothing that you can understand at all from this. It's completely free. It's perfect and complete. Whatever's being said is like whatever it is, and it's where it's at.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand that, that's perfectly exactly what you're supposed to do, because there's nothing to understand. This here is free, and it's the highest freedom you can get. There's no gods, there's no me, there's no you.
Now you're scaring people.
There's just this. It's not like there's nothing going on. I don't think there's nothing going on, right? It's just this. What's happening right now is what's happening right now. It's not something, and it's not nothing.
Yeah.
So it's not like
it is what it is, you know. It just is. That's it. But like you said, it's nothing to understand. So that's it's fine. That's why I started with just talking, because there's nothing to explain.
Yeah.
You can't even explain the non-duality. In a sense, it's something that's just felt, something it clicks. That's how I see it. It just
actually, yeah, but it doesn't have to click either, because there's no one here that can click. There's nothing here that can understand anything of this thing. So it's actually pointless to be here. Nobody should be here. It's a total waste of time. So is everything else a waste of time. We're all wasting time joyfully, and it's great. And sometimes, yeah, we could be sad about parts of it. Sometimes we can be joyful, but it still doesn't matter in the end whether anything happened or not, because it's not like anything is real. So it's kind of like a dream of a dream. It's like, do you know what I mean? Like a dream of a dream is kind of pointless, right? Because it's like it's a dream of a dream.
Yeah. Dream of a dream.
Yeah. So when you wake up from the dream, it's like it didn't happen. It's like it didn't happen at all.
Oh my god, this is so funny.
So
it's sensation. It's like you're in this, you know, it's all sensation somehow, Fabi. So how do you explain sensations? Are they real? Is that what's making things look real?
No, I don't think the sensations are real.
Is that what's making people think?
No, it's just like they appear to be, and they disappear, but they're not real in that sense. They're not like well, they're not solid, number one, if you want to call that something, but they're not real, and they're also not unreal. It's like so they're just this.
So your emotions or sensations, right, connected to sensations.
Is that a sensation? Is that an emotion?
For some,
it's not an emotion. It's not a sensation. It's that. And
but you connected with a sensation, right? You connected with an emotion.
Yeah, I guess if someone is here, but if nobody's here, like there's no connection with anything.
What makes everybody think they're here? You think? Why do the majority think like, oh, we're here? This is something. This you, Fabi.
I don't think they're here. It's just if we answer that question, when we come up with a question, we automatically, you come up with this thing of like, there is a human. Mm-hmm. Like animals don't ask question, right?
Yeah, that's
just look, he's got nothing to say.
But
and that says it all. It says it all.
Yeah, it's very interesting actually to think about plants and animals, you know.
Yeah.
They are in that frequency of non-dual kind of. Because they're here but not here. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And
we call the plant a name, but the plant doesn't call itself a name.
Exactly. And the animals either. So is there a difference between plants and animals?
No.
There's no difference.
It's the
There's
same.
no, yeah, it's this thing here, which is like, it's not a name, and it's not hot or cold. It's not like any sensation whatsoever.
Yeah. It's the mind that makes the perceptions of everything. So this is that, and this is this, and this is that. But it's actually not. It's like you're creating stuff, but there's nothing that's getting. I don't even want to step into that point. I don't want to step into that point because now I'm creating something in my head.
You're not really creating something.
You see,
you would be creating something if you existed. That's when you would create something. So it's like you don't there's nothing to worry about because you're not doing anything anyway. Like whatever's coming out of the words coming out here is not yours. It's not mine. It's just what's happening here. So who cares
if Louisa is watching this, I know you're cracking up. Louisa is laughing right now. If she's watching,
yeah, she's asking, "Are you growing your hair long, Fabi?" I mean, I guess maybe that's what's happening. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet.
And you know, you're gonna have dreads like me. We're gonna lock you.
Yeah, I'm
I'll be walking around.
So she asked another question. Hey, how to optimize mindset of non-duality with feasting on prana? So that's a very this is a long question. How to optimize mindset?
What is it to optimize?
Feasting on prana. Well, actually, the simple thing is this. Well, yeah. Any kind of verb, like, you know, when we're using the verb optimize, or when we're saying I'm doing something, or we say doing, or speaking, or talking, or eating, or whatever we're like, when you put a verb, automatically you need to have a subject. So there you go. It's like you cannot do anything with a verb because it's always linked to a subject. There's nobody here.
There's a movement in it, you know.
Yeah.
So and there's no movement. If you're gonna be still, and in the verb there is a movement. You have to go somewhere. You have to achieve something. You got to go, you know. So it makes sense.
The verb is like, it's the same as like when they're saying in those documents, whatever the word, you know, made this world is the same. It's creating a past. It's creating future. It's like a movement. Nothing is actually
meaning.
moving.
Yeah. We give it meaning. We give it power. The words.
And that meaning is a movement. I think meaning is a movement too, actually. Yeah.
It is because you attach it to a achievement.
Yeah.
And to achieve something, you got to move from A to B. You know? And yeah, so don't even to expand your mind and expand this and expand that. It's just being. Just I don't even there's nothing to expand.
Well, there's actually nothing to be either, because being means like also doing something.
Being
just,
you know.
Yeah.
If
it's the end. It's the end.
Yeah, that's when you come to the space.
Where is that?
No. The void.
Where is the void?
Oh my goodness, the black hole.
Yeah, right. There's no yeah, there's no actual like space.
As long as we are using words, it's like being in the trap. So the only way you can be just like not say anything in it.
Yes and no, because those words don't mean nothing anyway. So it's
True.
like you could be speaking a bunch of things that would be the same thing as your. It just doesn't mean anything. But it means something if you're like, no, it just means nothing.
It means nothing. But like, look, if you don't understand the language, it just becomes blah, 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 blah. Everything they're saying is like blah, 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 because I don't understand anything. Even my clothes, if I close my eyes and they're talking, I can't. But if the body language or something, then you make up stuff. So if you close your eyes and someone is talking another language, what do you perceive?
It's the same thing as always. Nothing is like being perceived, really. Well, the same problem, you know, this is the same thing as a trap, right? Once you use the word perceive, it still means there is like a soul that's here, that's actually seeing something.
And taking something.
But the thing is, there's no actual souls. That's the hardest part, that is the easiest part too. It's like, if you just get rid of the idea of there is souls out there, does that change anything? It doesn't change anything. It's not denying reality. It's just like something is like,
it's like when I'm thinking inside of me, I don't think of myself as a soul. I don't think of myself as a person. I don't think of myself as a woman. All of these labels, I don't. Only when I have to interact with people, and that's the only time I think of myself, those things. But just inside of yourself, do you think like, oh, I'm a soul doing this, or I'm a woman? No. There is no perception of the me in me. Only when I look out.
But this is even easier. There's no perception in you because there's no you.
Mm-hmm.
So it cannot, there's nothing that's containing anything. So when everybody's like trying to look for themselves, it's like they're like, you know, dreaming of a self.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it takes more energy than doing nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, and even doing nothing is something, but like what I'm saying is just, there's no, once you drop the idea of you existing,
there's nothing to find.
Or you found it. Because when you stop seeking, there it is. There's nothing else but that. This thing here is all there is. And it's like, when you stop looking for something, all you see is this. It's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so when you found it.
That's when you found it. It's over. Yeah. So, and the problem is there's no problem. Yeah. That's the problem of the mind, which does not exist. It's kind of weird, right?
I know. It reminds me actually when I was finding the physical, you know, aspect of me. Like, okay, who am I? Where's my family? This, it used to mean so much. And then when I find it, I'm like, oh my God, that was it. You know, it was it.
Well, for me, it was so big. For me, I think for me, it was big because when I say for me, for the idea that I built of this me.
It's okay. We're using words, so that's fine. Yeah.
But it was a big deal because it's like, I think this is where maybe that quest of looking for yourself is fun, because you build so much like so much crazy beliefs, like, oh, I'm God, oh, I'm Brahman, or oh, I'm this thing, or oh, I know how to detox myself, oh, I know how this works, I know how dry fasting works, I know how this works. You just build so much knowledge to the point where you think you really know a lot of things, and then suddenly you come to the realization that there's just nothing, and it's perfect, and everything crumble. And to me, that was like, wow. It was big, because
it is big.
All of it that's being accumulated is gone. There is nothing to know about this thing that's happening here. It's like It's very
it's nothing, but how the mind works though. It's running. It wants to know. It wants to collect. It wants to do this and that and that and that. But it's actually like you don't have to do anything. But where are you going? You know. So it's funny. It's funny, but it's a relief, isn't it? It's just a
so
relief
it's kind
because
of like,
whatever.
It's a relief of it's a relief that stays. It's not good to say that, but that appears to I've always been here, in a way. So like we feel like this me or this I am is like kind of this. It's like we call it prana, you know, like this ball of energy. It's like contraction, release, contraction, release. You can do some qigong and you learn that. Contracted, release, contraction, release. So that's what the me is. The me is like prana. It's just this contraction, release of energy constantly. But what non-duality in a way does, which it doesn't do anything, it just makes you realize that it was there the whole time, is that none of this is real. Like all of this contraction and release is appearing to be contracted or released.
Yeah.
But that's whether you're contracted or released, all of this doesn't care still. It's still free. So like it's beyond the mind and it's beyond prana. What we're talking about here there's no concept behind what we're talking about.
Can grasp it.
Yeah, it cannot. Yes, it can be. You can't contract it. Yeah, it's just the same thing as saying, "Oh, let me contract this."
Your screen got black, by the way.
Huh?
Your screen got black.
Oh, there we go. Battery change.
Oh, yes, but it's like, can you maybe think of like when you have that realization? It's like blending with the air. You know, you one with the air. Have you ever felt that?
That you're one with the air?
Yeah, like everything. It's when you think of yourself like, okay, it's always been here, and it's, you know, you just one with everything. You just blend with the air.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt that? Yeah, your screen is black. There you back. You're back almost.
Okay. Hello.
Yep.
I'm here.
Yeah. Do we have any questions? Because I can't see the YouTube.
Oh, okay. Look.
I'm just on Zoom.
Yeah, if anybody wants to ask a question, we're just doing this 45-minute talk kind of thing. We're gonna wrap up in 10 minutes.
Yeah, we're just talking. Yeah, well, but what I was saying is that, you know, there is so many times when I have the realization of this whole thing being my own perception, you know, my own, you know, screen that I'm displaying. When I realize that, and I just become one with everything. And I don't mean like, oh, I'm one with this glass, I'm one with you, I'm one with this. No, I mean, I just blend in with the air. It's just like the whole me is like, poof, gone. It's just,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
it's like, gone.
Yeah, yeah. I guess, yeah, it's like nice to probably look at it this way, where it's like you blend with everything, which is the same as saying you dissolve in nothing. Because many people, like, they look at those, you know, books of spirituality talking about dissolving the ego. But the reality is that there's no you blending with, and there's no you dissolving the ego. There's just no ego to begin with. The ego itself is an illusion. It's like an illusion. So an illusion is not real. So when we say, oh, I dissolved it, we're trying to make it real. We're trying to say something was real and now something is not real. Something is gone. But that's not at all what happened. It's
exactly.
Like it wasn't there in the first place.
I get that part too. But if you're going to explain it in with the limited words that we have, that's the closest I can come to dissolving.
Yeah, or blending with everything.
Yeah, because there are no words or nothing to explain it with. If I just didn't even explain it, if, you know, once I realized there is nobody to explain it to, then it makes sense. You know, that I don't have to explain anything. It's just, it is. It's just a realization. That's all it is. Realization of your own truth. Whatever that is. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't.
Our words are like, those
words
words
are tricky. Yeah.
I mean, there are words that we're using here that might help anybody listening. Is just, I think, for me, that what for me, for what, yeah, that's the problem. It's like there's no actual like me that realized something. It's confusing to always like say, like the idea of always having to remember yourself in a way, like by doing meditation, by doing this. It's true that in a way it just brings you back to that state that you're talking about, like blending or being air. Yeah, it's true that it helps.
You know, I've heard some people that compare the healing with peeling an onion, you know, peeling the onions, you know. So if you peel every layer, and the last is nothing left, how do people feel, you know? I don't know if they leave some with it, but you know, the onion when it's empty.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. The problem is the problem is that there are no onions.
I knew you were gonna say that.
You keep on peeling something that's not there. So that's what that's what the realization is about. Is when we're realizing that onion,
illusion of the onion.
Yeah. So you're just peeling things that don't exist, and by doing that, you're creating things that don't exist.
Yeah.
So when we say, "Oh, I'm becoming smarter," you're creating something that doesn't exist. Yeah. It's not. It's the easiest realization of all, and that's probably the hardest.
Do we create anything though?
Huh?
Who's creating? Who's creating the onion idea? You know, the mind. There is it a mind? You know, so the easiest way I can actually say for me is this, that I can look at you, I can look at the reality every day, but something within me just knows I'm moving through in an illusion, you know. But then again, it's the me that's moving through the illusion, so I am creating an illusion, so I am in an illusion. You get it? So it's a dream in a dream, so you don't know which one you're gonna wake up from.
Yeah, but there's, I mean, I guess it's not right to say that, because the moment where you go to sleep, you know, none of those questions matter.
No, they don't actually.
Yeah, they don't. So it's like, what's the difference between now and then? There's no real difference, except that something seems to be more like colorful. It appears that way.
They're actually not the same. They look the same. We just think we are awake on this one. Or
something is yeah, in a way.
It's like, oh, I'm awake on this one, and I have to do this. I can control this. I have mastered this, and you haven't mastered that.
Freedom. It's complete freedom to realize that this state that we call it waking is the same state as sleeping. It's like you're not doing anything. You're not breathing. You're not. It's just what's happening and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's not
the breath is a proof to me, like that we are not doing anything. That's proof. We never think of our breath unless we don't have it anymore.
Yeah, but that's still duality. But that's the problem. Like in duality, I think there are like steps that can help one person to like be maybe more mindful, more like in harmony with the environment. But that's the problem, is like when we try to be in harmony with the environment, we're still one step away from being one with it.
That's true.
We're always one step. Because the mind is in there. That's suppose the mind exists, you know. But as soon as you get rid of the mind, you're there. And that's total freedom. And it's not something that can be taken by the mind. As soon as this me is dropped, there is just freedom. There's not.
If you took out the mind,
and there's nothing to take. That's the funniest part. The funniest part is that there's nothing to do, actually. That's the part. That's the most funny. It's like when we say you have to drop the mind. Oh, how do I do it? The mind is like thinking, oh, let me know. What's the recipe? Step by step. You have to meditate for 20 years. Then you have to do yoga.
You're giving the mind a job. Oh my God. Imagine trying to lose the mind using the mind.
I mean, that's crazy, but that's what we're doing, right? And we're doing it with joy. It's funny. Like, it's okay, though.
Oh my God. Yeah. I always think about it. I'm like, okay, let me, everything I want to do with the mind, I'm using the mind. It's crazy. No.
Yeah, I wonder if you're using the mind or not.
Who's using the mind? Is it anything that's using the mind?
Yeah. I mean,
it's a program running by itself.
Yeah. I don't think it's intentional. I don't think it's personal. That's probably the easiest to get it. Like this thing, we take it very personal, but it's like there's no person in it.
That's
so
true.
It's not personal. You should not. There's not even a need to say you should not do that or whatever. But there's nothing personal. It's kind of dangerous to say that, because then it's like, oh my God, nobody's responsible for anything. Oh well.
Yeah, I don't think you should even jump into that conclusion.
Well, no, but that's what
responsible,
happens.
not responsible, when you notice that, that it's no. Once it clicks for you, I don't think the first mindset is like, oh, there's no responsibility.
Exactly.
Nothing.
That's a good point. Yes. Someone that says that this message is dangerous and that we should be careful because people might think that they're losing responsibilities, like all that, what you're saying, yes, that's someone that definitely did not realize anything about this message.
It didn't click.
Yeah, once the ego is dropped, life does not want to, life is just life, and there's no need to blame.
Exactly. You will be in flow somehow, whatever flow.
Yeah.
But that's not, it's if you attach to the thought of like, there's no responsibility, there's this, it hasn't clicked for you. So don't even put them together. It's not the same. Once they click for you, you're not here. So you won't make any problem. You're not, it won't be dangerous. You're not even here. You don't even exist. You like X yourself out of this creation. But
observable. I think the easiest, like, to go back to that question of like Luisa, is just, I think when you believe that you're existing, just observe as much as you can and avoid interpreting things. And then the rest of the time, there you are. Like when you believe you exist there, and then the rest of the time, you're already perfectly like absorbed into the whole thing. So you're not, there's nothing you need to do.
Yeah.
But if you believe you have something to do, then just observe.
Yeah, that's the truth. You just, go back, observe. Don't even think about it. There's nothing to do or it's something to do. Both of them, just drop both ideas. Both ideas.
Luisa is asking, who's Luisa? I got no idea. I don't know who she is. And who cares? Who cares? Nobody's got a name anyway. So it's like, it is powerful, like, to just, drop this name. And like, we're just like there for no reason. There's no meaning to it. We're not going anywhere. Like, even if like everybody's thinking we're going into the new year, it's like, wow, it's crazy. Nothing's gonna change anyway. Like, the most beautiful time of the year is always this thing, like, the new year, where I think that's the most beautiful time, where it's like how much fiction we can create for ourselves, right? About the time, thinking like, whoa, I could change everything, like New Year resolution and all that.
Yeah. It's the willpower, something is giving them something like push, and it's an idea will give you a push, but nothing is happening. Like that we are entering a new year is an idea and a concept.
And we see it. The thing is, we all like are there seeing how stupid that is a minute later. It's like that moment where we're all gonna kiss ourselves and be like, oh, there we go. We made it. We made something that's not real. That's and everybody's doing it in every like countries.
The whole reality isn't created the same way. Huh? This whole reality feels like it's created the same way.
Yeah, we all wake up every day thinking we are here.
Yeah.
But there is not we here. There's just here.
One thing that's dangerous about non-duality is when you try to understand it.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Yes. There's nobody here to understand anything. There's nothing to understand. Wow, this was like also beautiful, because it's just, I discussions on like with some family about knowledge, and it's knowledge is like a way. It's the mind, the words, the knowledge is like, it's best to unlearn everything than like trying to learn something.
Oh my goodness. Like I always say, like, please empty your consciousness. Do not fill it, don't fill it back up again. Just empty it. Learn how to just empty. Just get rid of all this idea. Like if it's a basket, poof, poof. Don't put in new things. Like now you have to deal with the new concepts. It's like, everything is the same thing. You just modifying,
Yeah, but I'll say something, maybe, I mean, we're going to wrap it up in 5 minutes, but about the spirituality, like, this is like a powerful, like, school in a way. Like, you learn so many things that are like somehow about an image of yourself. Like when you go to school and you learn math or you learn like science, whatever, it's still like something about yourself, but in a way they've put it in another way. They have said, oh, this is the language of something else, this is the language of something else, the science, the math, the this or the that. So we don't put so much like, if you have to put points on coins, money on it, energy on it, we don't put so much energy on it, on like, oh, the value of like learning math. But as soon as someone becomes spiritual and they go in the spiritual school, I did, everybody, it's like interesting because you start reading those books and like whatever you can learn from the spiritual gurus or whatever, and it all seems so much more powerful. Like you want to eat so much of that junk food, like so much you want to eat it because it's somehow potentially an answer to who you think you are. And so that knowledge, the knowledge of spirituality, is also like, can be very hard to unlearn. It can be very hard to unlearn until
once you learn it, it's like you accept it. It's like religion. Religion is very hard to reverse. once you believe there is something higher than you, something bigger than you, something more powerful than you, it's very hard for people to tell you like, no, there is no higher than you, there is no more powerful than you, you know. So when you get into these spirituality books too, you get the same concept. Oh, now you are like Buddha, now you are like this, now you are like that, you know. You become something, you just add on to more. So it's harder to get rid of those things. So just like when you are getting into this, it's good to not consume it and become it, but just like take it as, oh, this is an information, and then go on. Don't have it attached to you. It's hard to get rid of it if you're attached. Oh, I'm God. I'm this and that. I'm this, that. I'm more powerful. I'm this. No, just sit
that's
down.
why I think that's why some people were asking about like, what is spirituality in our group? Someone asked for this. I think that was Kiki, and my answer was like, to me, spirituality is the apogee of the ego, because if you look at like all kinds of knowledge that you accumulate, the spiritual knowledge or the books or what the spiritual knowledge is really like the heaviest in a way, like knowledge.
I see what you mean.
This is what I'm saying, that it's got so much value because you think it's you think it speaks to you, and so you put it so much, you know, it's for you, it's like you're arriving at the highest point. And that's actually the trap of the ego. It's like and then it's really difficult, I think, and even for like you said, the religion, because like some men use their faces or image to like share that message and relate it to that their image, and a lot of followers, whatever, just did not interpret it.
It's a fear-based, you know. Yeah, so it stuck because of the fear.
Yeah, but if those spiritual like deity or like gurus or whatever didn't realize that there is no one,
I think about that sometimes. Like they didn't realize.
They would have not created a religion.
Yes,
because there's no need to help anyone here.
Exactly.
Everybody is free.
Exactly. So I think about these, you know, gurus and whatever. I'm like, oh my God, they didn't come to that realization that there's nothing. Like me, my problem is I don't know how to follow 1-2 step, you know, so that's why I didn't fall into the trap, because I just don't know how to follow 1-2 steps. It's like after a little while I get a loose interest and I'm like, oh, whatever, and I go move on to the next. So that's why I didn't get stuck to a lot of things. But I can see, if you really think that, okay, it's a religion, it's a way of belief, and then you are still attached to the ego. Or if you want, you know, to be immortal, for example, I think about people who wants to be breatharian and they want to live forever. I'm like, what is forever? Who's living forever? What's living forever? It's not the body. You want to hold on to this body? So then you must think.
Now that my hair are growing, because Luisa was saying that, I keep on seeing the hair falling. I'm like, wait, haven't you noticed how this body is kind of ugly as well? Like, those nails, the nails are going out, the hairs are falling off, the skin's going on the ground. Like, why do you want to hold on to this thing for 300 years? What's up with that? Just let it go.
Let it go.
We should ask him, what do you think about this? It was great talk, right? Yeah.
Yes, this was great talk. I need to actually get going because I have another live right away.
He really enjoyed it. I think he learned everything. So that was great.
Tell him there's nothing to learn.
He understood everything.
Nothing to understand.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well, that's good. Thank you so much. We'll have another tea time another time. Yeah. And until then, just be happy and free, and don't worry, nothing is going wrong. Everything is just perfect.
Yes, everything is always perfect. Every minute, every second that you take a breath. So, okay, bye, Fabi. Love you guys.
Yes, bye, Kamilla.